Hello everyone. This video is all about the engine build. I'm going to cut to the chase, there's a lot to get through. Enjoy my old shower curtain, won't you? The block is a B20 from a Mark 1 CRV. As I tear this down, I'll inspect for wear. I honestly don't think it's had a hard life. I can see that there's no scoring in the cylinders, and as it belonged to a customer of mine back when I had a garage, I know it was a family-owned car, and I suspect it was never driven in anger. Plus it was on an auto box, so can't have been over-revved. It'll be refreshed with new bearings and thrust washers, all the same, and I'll be reusing the stock rods but balancing them if I need to. The crank is getting balanced with a new flywheel, clutch and pulley, and the company that's doing that have also said that they make custom block guards, so we'll be getting that as well. The head is a B16A1 that's been ported by LC Porting. I would drop a link, but there isn't one. I'm not sure if he's trading anymore. It may get new valve guides. I'll inspect those and we'll see. I'd like to keep these, to be honest, because they were ported with the head, but if there's any play in them, I'll change them. And obviously I'll be getting the valve seats reground and the new valves lapped in and a reface. Port matched to the head is this Edelbrock VTEC inlet manifold, and the inlet's been ported out to 70mm to match the Skunk 2 throttle body. I've since learned that the VTEC is better with forced induction builds and that the Skunk 2 Ultra produces more power for normally aspirated builds, so that may be swapped out later on, but for now I'm sticking with the Edelbrock. Now for some serious business, the Rocket M22XX cams. I got these second hand, unused, but if you want some you'll have to shout at Bad Guys in California. There's a link in the description. I spent a very long time to choose these. I decided to go with them as they're reviewed to be one of the most leery cams you can get, and I'm aiming for maximum power here. To go onto the cams, I have Skunk 2 titanium adjustable pulleys. These are really nice looking, subtle and absolutely feather light. Now onto the valve train from Bad Guys. Dual valve springs, titanium retainers and collets, SuperTech valves and new stem seals. Those guys really helped me out. I wasn't sure what valves to use with the M22XX cams. They advised these from SuperTech and even sourced them for me. So hit up the website, they're seriously next level at tuning Hondas. The new pistons are from Wiseco with a compression ratio of 12.4 to 1. I've got new gudgeon pins, circlips and rings. Obviously they'll all need gapping on assembly. They're 84.5mm, which is half a mil over the stock bore, so we'll be getting the bores ground out. In this box I have new front and rear seals, bearings and thrust washers. I have a stock head gasket. The oil pump is from Apocalypse Racing. I may rev this engine up to 9k, and apparently the stock ones break up at high RPM, so this was a must-have. It's obviously used, but I'm assured it hasn't done many miles, and I'll be opening it up to inspect it regardless. And now to hold it all together, I have ARP main studs and head studs. Some of you might be thinking I should buy new, but they're not stretch bolts. It's absolutely fine to reuse them, and it was a considerable saving. I have a stage 2 competition clutch, which is good for well over 300 horsepower apparently. Comes with nice stickers as always, and a locating tool and a release bearing. As you can see, it's a conventional design, not paddled or multi-plate, so I reckon it'll have a nice feel for daily drivability, which is important because this is a street, not a track build. This lightened flywheel may have been refaced or shaved to further reduce weight. You can see here the original balancing dimples and then quite a lot of newer dimples on the other side here. I have an ATI super damper crank pulley. There are plenty of builds out there without these, and the stock Honda pulley works perfectly well, but I've just become a bit obsessed when it comes to balancing and vibration. I want this engine to be smooth and reliable, and as we're going to rev it quite high, I think it's worth taking the extra precaution. It has ribs for a single belt, as all it has to run is the alternator. It's not going to have power steering or aircon. You can see here it has an inner and outer part joined by rubber or whatever special anti-vibration material they use, and nice precise timing marks around the circumference. A Moroso baffled sump. As you can see, it's seen better days, but it'll be getting plated or powder coated, so don't worry. This has extra oil capacity as well as the baffles, which is nice. This is a normally aspirated build, but should I ever decide to turbo it, then the oil drain is there ready to go, and it has a magnetic sump plug. And now onto the fuel system. It's all from Deechworks. An anodized matte black rail, an adjustable fuel pressure regulator and gauge, 255 litre per hour pump, 550cc injectors, and obligatory stickers of course. And this is all going to be controlled by a Hyundai S300, second hand, so already fitted to an ECU, which is super convenient. Let's just take off the cover and give you a little look. You know what this is? It looks like all of them of that generation, but this is specifically for a manual VTEC. I hope to see that needle hitting 9,000 RPM one day. The gearbox is a Y2 with Mugen LSD and 4.9 final drive. I don't know if 4.9 is going to be the most suitable for this build, but that's what's in it, so I'll decide if it wants changing after getting a few miles done. The B series mounts are from Innovative. They're also for a hydraulic clutch, so I'll be converting from cable to hydraulic. I have a clutch slave cylinder around here somewhere. Not sure if it's from the CRV or the VT. Hopefully it fits. For the brakes I have some 282mm calipers from the VT, and I also have these bigger calipers from the CRV, but I highly doubt they'll fit behind the wheels. In fact, the 282s might not fit behind the Mugen R&Rs, and I really want to keep them. In my opinion, they're amongst the best wheels you can get for these Civics. And I'll probably fit this 15/16 master cylinder, but I have a 3/4 inch one here somewhere as well. I'm fitting this manual rack and subframe. It needs a refresh, as you can see. I'll probably have the subframe powder coated, and we'll certainly be rebushing the rack. The ball joints are all good, so we'll reuse them. Now for the harness, I have the VT and the CRV ones from the donors. This one's from the CRV. I'm hoping to coddle something together from them, but we'll very likely have to source new bits. I'm relying on a pal to help out with the harness. You know who you are, you legend. Cheers. And we'll be tucking it as well, because you can't beat a tucked bay, can you? And just because you have to, Heiko wind deflectors. To put the VTEC head onto the B20 block, you need to fit a new oil feed for the head, which is super easy. There is a kit that uses a sandwich plate on the oil filter, but I'm not using that. I'll be hardlining a feed from the block. That'll be more reliable and is a neater package. And one of the dowel points on the head has to be drilled out a bit. After that, it'll take a stock head gasket to assemble. I have VT drive shafts, but I'm not totally sure on what will fit, as I'll be using the GL hubs. If I have to get custom shafts made, that's no problem. We've got local suppliers of that. If they fit, then I'll refresh them anyway. There's some stuff I haven't shown here. I don't want to bore you with all the brackets and miscellaneous bits. The VT dash is stored and covered. I don't want to move that until it's getting fitted, so you'll see that later. Whilst the engine's out, I'll be getting the base sprayed to match the rest of the car. I may do this myself, depends how I feel at the time. I don't feel like getting overspray all over my garage, to be honest. I have to credit all the good people on the 4G UK forum on Facebook. Anything I've needed, advice or parts, and I've found my answer there. Almost everything you've seen in this video came from there, so thanks very much to all of you. There have been so many variations of VTEC B20s built now by people all over the world, but it's difficult to get any real information on their outcomes besides the odd dyno result. I've researched for a long time, and I've tried to gather parts that will work well together. Time will tell, eh? Now, a simple like on the video goes a long way for me, so please do that, and subscribe if you're here to follow the build. In the next video, I'll be driving her out of the garage and knocking the dust off, so follow this link for that big moment. Thanks everyone, bye for now.